Alright, so it's time for another PlayStation Collection update video, but first I wanted to go through a few of the PlayStation 3 games that I have, that I've played, that I've beaten, or whatever. I have some praise and some angry to dish out on them forthwith. Let's get started. Alright, so the first game I wanted to talk about was Uncharted 3. Drake's Deception. I almost said Among Thieves, that's the second one. I played them all so quickly and close together that it's, yeah, I'm starting to blur things together. Overall, it was a good game. They added some new features that weren't in the second one, like the ability to throw grenades back at the enemy. That is so helpful. You get so sick of running away from grenades while you're taking cover. It's obnoxious. So that was great. That was great. And they made some other improvements too. I don't remember what they all are, but overall it's a great game. I had problems with the lighting. The lighting kind of glitched out on occasion. I think they're trying to do that retina effect with the light blooming where where it like emulates your pupil adjusting to the light, but occasionally if you like look up at an enemy and they happen to be near a light, it will just go black for a second. You can't see anything. So that's a bit of a problem. Also, if it ran longer than about 15 minutes or so, if I played more than like 15 minutes, which I always did, because as I said, overall pretty good game, I'd start getting these white boxes like flashing on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know what that's all about. You'd think they would have fixed that shit by now, but and this is like the Game of the Year edition too, isn't it? Yeah. So this is like a newer version that's been out for a while, plus online updates. It had a ton of online updates when I first loaded the game up. So I don't know. I don't know why it had that problem. Also, the worst part, you put the game in or whatever, you start it up, a little bit of a loading screen, okay, main menu, single player campaign, get it started, load it up, and the loading screen, the initial loading screen was, God, it had to have been at least, it felt like it was a good 3 minutes long. Like it was to the point where every single time that loading screen came up, I thought to myself, is it frozen? Is it locked? Do I need to restart? Because it just took forever. Anyway, other than that, great game. Just those minor problems. I don't know. Did anybody else have those problems, or is it just me? Did I get a weird PlayStation 3? I don't know. I don't know. I thought I'd bring it up. Maybe somebody has some helpful info on that front. That being said, I beat the game. It was great. The part with the djinn, spoiler alert, where he's like freaking out and hallucinating, those motherfuckers were a pain in the ass. That sucked. That was definitely the hardest part of the game. But other than that, it was good. I was kind of upset that the British dude, bad guy, that we hate, him. Yeah, I kind of thought maybe he could have died in a more brutal fashion, just to satisfy me a bit more. I didn't appreciate his smugness throughout the entire game. It was obnoxious. My wife hated it too. Anyway. Ni no Kuni, holy crap! Now this is a good game. You know, you ever play those RPGs? Certain Final Fantasy games are like this, where you're playing the game, you get the initial story, and everything kind of gets going, then you're like, okay, time to set out on adventure, and it feels like you're going out on an adventure, and it feels really good and awesome. This game has that. This game has that awesome feeling you get. This is why we play these RPGs, because you get that awesome feeling of adventure, and then as things progress, you're like, oh, I get to unlock this. Oh, I can level him up like that. Oh, sweet. But that initial sense of adventure is the most important part, and if you can convey that in a video game, then you've got yourself a great game. And this is a really, really great game. It's almost like all the world has been discovered already, because humans have it in their nature that we want to explore, right? You want to know what's over the next hill. Of course, most of the world's been explored and discovered and such, so explorers aren't really, it's not really an occupation that you get to have at the moment. We're kind of in a deadlock. Eventually, when space exploration picks up, I'm sure we'll have a lot more human explorers exploring the galaxy or whatever one day. Probably won't be in my lifetime, unfortunately. So, maybe that's why video games are so popular at this particular juncture, because it feeds our need for exploration and just finding out what's over the next proverbial hill. Anyway, really good game. By contrast, this game did not have that feeling, and I still haven't beaten it. Usually if I pick up a Final Fantasy game, I can't put it down. I gotta keep playing and playing and playing, and then I finally beat it, and then I'm like, oh man, that was awesome. Let's load up the save and go fight these optional creatures and level up the characters to the maximum level. But no, I'm almost done with it. I think, I can't remember how many chapters there were in the game, but I looked at some point and I was like one chapter behind beating the game. But and apparently Final Fantasy 13-2 is really bad. So just the linearity, and there you go. There it is. The linearity constricts your movements, therefore there's no sense of adventure, like in this. Okay? This good, this bad. It's that simple. Studio Ghibli animation. I mean, God, it's awesome. It's like you're playing a Hayao Miyazaki movie. It's really, really fun. Alright. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the PlayStation 2 games. Just put those down there. I don't know where I put them. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Call of Duty 3. Special edition. Comes with a, yeah, it's a 2-disc set. It comes with a DVD there. It came with the instructions. I wouldn't have bought this for the PlayStation 2 normally, because normally I just play the Call of Duty games on PC, but of course, not on PC, which sucks because this is quite possibly my favorite Call of Duty. I remember something about the trenches in Normandy, and it looks like this plastic is loose. Yes, it's torn a bit. Son of a bitch. This is what happens when you buy PlayStation 2 games at swap meets. Let me sit back a bit. There we go. Yeah, so Call of Duty 3. Anyway, good game. Won't be so great at it because I'm not good at aiming with the analogs. First-person shooters and controllers don't mix for me. They do for some people, not for me. I'm much better with the mouse and keyboard. You know, you get that precision that you can't get with a controller, with an analog stick. Next one! Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. This is the greatest hits version, which I have never played. Maybe it is a little bit better than the original. Maybe they took care of some of the glitches, if there were any. I don't know. I even have the strategy guide for this because I pre-ordered this back in the day when it came out. Comes with the instructions, although there's not. Oh yeah, they're pretty thick. Okay, yeah, some recipes and stuff in there. Okay, cool. It's a 2-disc set. No bonus DVD or anything. It's yeah. Remember back when you had to get 2 discs for extra long games? But yeah, this is a great game. It really is. And I have the strategy guide. I should totally let's play this game with the strategy guide next to me at all times, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's not a bad idea. Fortunately, I just divulged all my secrets. Oh. Alright, next game on the chopping block. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I could have sworn this was like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater engine, the Neversoft engine. I thought it was. Because you can unlock Jango Fett in one of the Tony Hawk games, or was it Boba Fett? I don't know. I guess maybe it's not. It feels like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater engine, but I don't see anything about Neversoft on the back here, or even Activision for that matter. It's all LucasArts, Skywalker Sound, Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah. Anyway, this is a very, very fun action shooter, platformer kind of game, action game, adventure game. Adventure or action? I think it's probably action. Lots of shooting in it. And of course, it's very kind to the controller. It's got like some auto-aim kind of stuff, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. You can just really kick some ass in this game. Anybody remember that Star Wars fighting game on the PS2? Is it on the PS2 or the PS1? Pardon me. I don't remember. I need some coffee. Hold on. Alright, yeah, that fighting game. That Star Wars fighting game. I can't remember what it was called, but that game was a shitload of fun, and I wasn't expecting it to be. I rented it just because I thought it looked funny, and me and my buddies could play it together. So I rented it, and holy crap, it turned out to be really fun. There were a bunch of unlockables you could get by performing certain tasks, like beating Darth Vader on hard mode with Han Solo, and crazy crap like that. A lot of fun, had ring outs, just a really, really fun 3D fighting game. I cannot remember what it was called, but I gotta get my hands on that. Whew, that's one I gotta get. Okay. Anyway, picked this up because it was like $3, and why the hell not? Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. There you go, done. Next game. Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain. Yes! This is a good game. Oh. Oh man, I think it was Siphon Filter 2, Siphon Filter the Omega Strain, and then for some reason Siphon Filter 3, which was a piece of shit. I think that's how it went. Or was it the other way around? I don't know. Is this the one where you started on the mountaintop and everything's like snowy? And there's that secret machine gun hidden in the thing. I think this is the one I've played the most. The, Mishka, Alribi Profalit. I still remember the Russian from this game because I had to keep playing parts over and over again. Because my sneaking skills sucked. Alright, Dynasty Warriors 4. This is the shit that my wife and I love to play together. I think this one has customizable characters. Giant Kingdom play. Select a new general for each stage in Musu mode. Create your own officers and bodyguards. Yes, this is the one. This is a good one right here. I think Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends is actually probably the best Dynasty Warriors game out there at the moment. Although I have not played Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires, which is supposed to be really good. And instructions? Yes, instructions, but the tab is missing. Look at that. Oh, just minor detail, but hey, you know what? It came with the instructions. How's the disc look? Disc looks decent. It needs a little bit of cleaning there. I don't know. Cool. Yes. Good looking disc. All right. Moving on. Only because it was recommended to me by like 3 people in the comments. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Also, it was cheap. I played it a little bit. The gameplay seems really tight. The graphics are kind of shit, even for PS2, I thought. But I think this was a pretty early launch title. Yeah, it's a compact disc, as you can see right there. Yeah, the graphics are pretty shitty, but yeah, the gameplay seemed really, really nice, and just a nice, simple action RPG. Why the hell not? Isometric view. Yeah, well, of course, isometric view. The original Gauntlet had isometric as well, although I didn't like the Gauntlet on the NES. I don't know, maybe I was too young and I just didn't get RPGs back then. I was probably 6 or 7 when I played that one, so... anyway, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Real tight gameplay. And then finally, Tetris Worlds. There you go. Great single-player Tetris game, not so much for the multiplayer, unfortunately. I shouldn't say that. I haven't played it too much, but my wife and I were playing multiplayer, and it was over just like that. Like, you know, I get like 2 lines, and boom, I win. I thought maybe there were some options you could change. Maybe the options were defaulted at scoring like 200 points or something, and then it was over. But no, I don't know. I don't know why the multiplayer sucks. It could be that I need to reconfigure it somehow, and I haven't figured out how, or it just sucks, which is a very real possibility. But yes, Tetris Worlds, very fun for single player. The dead drops are great. It's got... although the dead drops can kind of get you into trouble too. Basically, you hit up and the block just basically teleports. It's a quick drop, a fast drop, a dead drop. It drops fast, and that can get you into trouble if you don't have it lined up right. But it has a ghost block at the bottom. It's just a lot of fun. You can play it really, really fast. It also comes with Cascade mode, Fusion mode, all these different tweaks to the original Tetris. It's a lot of fun for single player. Highly recommend Tetris Worlds. Best Tetris game I've ever played for single player. Alright, that does it for the PS2 games. Let me just... There we go. There's your synopsis. Ooh, yeah. Is it upside down? There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm really... getting quite a collection and or addiction of PS2 games. And then the last thing was Spelunky's coming to the PlayStation Network, which is really cool. The new enhanced version of Spelunky that came out on Xbox a year ago. They had a 1-year contract, so it's coming this summer. We don't know when exactly. I keep looking it up. I keep trying to find a release date because I'm really excited about that. Anyway, it'll be coming to the PlayStation Network. You can play it on your PS3. You'll also be able to play it on your Vita if you have a Vita. I don't, but I'm seriously considering getting one just so I can play Spelunky in bed. Because that is fucking awesome. I would love to lay in bed like a lazy motherfucker and play me some Spelunky. And it's the new enhanced version. Like, the graphics are nicer. It's got a bunch of new shit added on that the PC version doesn't have. So I am super excited about that. I don't know how much it costs, but... as long as it's under 20 bucks, I'd say it's well worth it. Anyway, yes, that should do it. So, see you next time. Luke out.